Hi, Melanie. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for being here today.
Good. Oh, yeah, thank you.
I feel like I've seen you a lot recently in dark, disturbing television where you usually sort of write part of the action. And in
Yeah,
this case, the content is definitely similarly unsettling and harrowing, but you're much more removed from that. How
yeah.
involved were you with all of the, sort of flashback, other timeline scenes, and what did you know of what was happening?
I mean, obviously I had the script which had the whole story within it. So I read everything and then I read the book after I was cast. Um, so I knew the story, but they filmed all of that stuff before I even got to Slovakia. So they were finished with all of that, which was kind of amazing because I got to see Tali, the director, made some rough cuts of some of the scenes. Like, we would be in conversation about something terrible that had happened, and she was able to show us some of those scenes, which was such an incredible tool to have. I mean, it made the reaction very visceral.
What kind of work did you do with the real Heather Morris?
Oh, she was so great. She was around a lot. I got to talk to her. She was really an open book. I could ask her anything. Um, and also so much of it was in the script. The writers had spent so much time with her and she had gone over and over and over the scripts. Like she had a lot of input and a lot of agency, which was pretty wonderful. Um, so yeah, I just wanted her to be happy. That was my main thing. Like, please let her like it.
Was there anything that surprised you about her as a person or her in the script?
Yeah, I think the thing that surprised me when I met her and sort of like freaked me out a little bit for a second was that she is very, very confident. And the scripts that I had read, she was a hesitant person who had some anxiety and was a bit nervous and figuring it out. And so I had some conversations with her about the trajectory from being that person to being the person she is today, who is a very like self-possessed, confident woman. Um, and she really reassured me that, who she was then is very different. She's really found herself through becoming an author and found her voice and gained a lot of confidence. And it's an incredible story. She made her dreams come true in midlife. She actually did it, and she's so impressive.
Share your scenes with Harvey Keitel. What was it like working with him? Do you have a favorite performance of his that you knew of before this that you sort of came in expecting some image of him?
Um, yeah, it's so funny because before, I heard he was cast and I just was like, oh my gosh, I started to think of all the wonderful movies that he's been in. And then I was like, hang on a sec, there's so many. Like if you look over his filmography, there's so many great movies and so many instances of him working with directors who were not proven yet, like, Quentin Tarantino's first film. So there's just a lot of impressive stuff on the filmography. Um, I love Reservoir Dogs. I love the piano. I'm from New Zealand, I have to say the piano, that's a personal favorite.
Did the experience of working with him surprise you? Was he what you expected?
It surprised me, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you never know what to expect. You're meeting somebody for the first time, and yeah, I never really go in with expectations, though, I guess. But it was like the filming process, they'd saved everything for the last chunk of the shoot. So it was just, day after day after day of, so much dialogue, so many scenes, so much time sitting on the same sofa. Just, it was a little bit of a grind.
Well, after being part of so many big ensembles and so embedded within the entire storyline, is this an
Mm.
approach you want to do again in the future? Or do you like sort of being there from the beginning and being associated with the entire cast?
It's always, I mean, I did find myself being so filled with joy when ghosts would visit, you know, like sometimes people would come in and be reminders of his past. And the energy of like an actor who I hadn't been working with. It's so fun. And I feel that way, I was going to say at work, as though I have like a, full-time job and then this is something else. It's all work, but on Yellow Jackets, sometimes like a new actor would come in and you're all sort of like, oh, what's this going to be like? It's always fun. I love an ensemble. I love getting to work with a lot of different people.
You think audiences will most take away from this series?
I think it's a really moving story. I think that it's it's an almost unbelievable story. It's just incredible. And so I think people are going to learn a lot, and I think people are going to really, really be moved by it.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, Melanie. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you. You too.